just your thoughts on going to Western. They're number one scoring offense, and that's kind of been your challenge, is to try to keep goals against. How do you try to do it against a team like that?
Yeah, well, it's by committee, right? It's trying to do the right things as five guys on the ice, or the penalty kill unit that's on the ice, of trying to eliminate that. I think they're running around 33 shots per game. So again, in that barn where a lot of things happen quick, obviously they get pucks to the net quite a bit from all different areas, and I think it's just being alert, making sure that we play before we get into our defensive zone, making sure that we play good in their offensive zone and in the neutral zone, and then when we are in the defensive zone, making sure that we don't give up any freebies as far as in front of the net, that they have to earn everything they get. And I think that's kind of the biggest thing, is making sure the five guys play as a cohesive unit and a tight unit.
Is that something you guys can do better at, is maybe limiting some of the high danger chances of the other team? I mean, you guys only allowed 19 shots on Saturday, but it felt like of the 19, there were quite a few that were...
Yeah, well, again, I think the high danger comes from, we're on a 4-on-4 and they get a breakaway off of 4-on-4 on a bobbled puck. A couple of times we're on a power play, they get outnumbered opportunities on the power play. Like those are plays that you can eliminate in your game. You're on a man advantage. There shouldn't be any outnumbered situations. And again, on 5-on-5, those are situations too where making sure that we have layers coming back through the offensive zone, through the neutral zone, and then in our end of the rink, instead of being all up and out with three guys or four guys. It's situations where we have more patience in our game and living for the next play.
That first line is doing a lot of their scoring. Does it have to be kind of by committee to slow them down, because you guys don't have last line change? You can't really...
Yeah, and that comes from identification on who's on the ice, right? Like, knowing that line's on the ice, and your number one job is to eliminate them from trying to gain offensive opportunity. And then a byproduct of that is, if you're checking the right way, we call it checking to score. It doesn't matter if it's a top line on the other team. Like, you have to check to get the puck back to have an offensive opportunity, and that's got to be our mindset, is checking to score and making sure that checking comes before scoring.
How is Ethan Frisch this week?
Yeah, he's been skating every practice, and he'll be playing on Friday night. Absolutely, yeah.
So, when you have a multi-goal lead, how does the mindset and the style of play change, or how should it change?
Yeah, well, I think it's being mindful, and what we talk about, like on Saturday, at the end of the second period when we had a lead, I think, the last 5 minutes of a period, especially the last minute or two, those have to be rock solid, as far as just plain simple, advancing pucks, not giving out teams opportunities to score a goal. Beginning of the third period, they did score at the end of the second. Beginning of the third period, same thing, second shift in, not the first shift, but the second shift, and it was still in the first minute of play of the third period, of making sure you get off to a good start in the beginning of a period. So I think it's the mental side of it, as far as what we have to do consistently, not just one line, not just two lines, but all four lines, all 6 D-men that are playing, that, hey, these are important times of the game, that we have to gain momentum in it.
How's Gavin doing?
Yeah, Gavin's doing good. Yeah, he's doing good. He'll be playing this weekend as well. Obviously, he's nicked up to have some bumps and bruises, but again, it's the last 2 games of the first half of the season, and guys are, not only our team, but other players around the country on other teams are playing through some different things.
When you've just kind of seen him practice, how are the goalies doing, just kind of mentally, all 3 of them?
Yeah, you know what? It's it's a battle. Those guys. It's a situation where we're trying to replicate some game-like situations in practice, where those are the looks that you're going to see. And obviously, when Brad talked about a high offensive team with a lot of shots, I mean, that's what's going to be coming at us. And again, we have to make sure that those shots that come on net, we give our goaltender an opportunity to see it. We box out in front. We don't give out any secondary opportunities, and playing tight as a 5-man unit, so that those situations don't occur very many times. Hopefully this weekend.
Have you determined, is Caleb going?
Our lineup will go out this afternoon, our travel lineup, and we're still evaluating that, so we'll put that out, and obviously you'll see tomorrow who's on the plane.
So it's been a few road games in a row now, I think 3 or 4 total, that have been 3 goals or more allowed in a row, going back to the 4-1 win at
Yep.
Omaha. So what do you do to limit, especially goals on the road going into a Western Michigan series?
Well, you're probably simplifying your game a little bit, right? I think it's a situation where, every goal doesn't have to be picture perfect. Every play doesn't have to be picture perfect. Like I said, going into that rink where, there's not a lot of time and space, it's a loud environment, you know, obviously you want to communicate with your teammates and being verbal and talking will help you through it. But when in a loud environment, you have to have the predictability to your teammates that you're going to keep advancing a puck. You're going to keep pushing it out of your end of the rink. You're going to play in their end of the rink. And when it does get into your rink, simplify your game and play a hard game in our end of the rink.